Good evening. My name is James. From today I'm going to do a bedtime story. Everybody in my neighborhood is outside today enjoying the warm weather and sunshine. Well, everyone except me. It's kind of hard to enjoy a heat wave when it's in the middle of the winter. People are calling this wacky weather, but it just doesn't feel right. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I don't think it should be cold in the winter and hot in the summer. I've heard the whole planet is warming up and that human beings are the reason, but don't blame me. I just got here. If the world is getting hotter, I hope it doesn't happen too fast. Because if things keep up at this rate, I will be riding a camel to high school. They say that the ice caps are melting and the sea is rising. So I've been trying to convince Mum and Dad to buy a house high up our hill, but they just don't seem that concerned. It kind of makes me nervous that I'm the only one in my family worried about this stuff, because if we don't do something about the situation soon, we're gonna wish we did. It's not just the rising sea levels I'm nervous about. Those ice caps have been around for millions of years, and there could be things buried inside of them that should stay that way. I saw a movie about a caveman who got frozen in ice, and when it melted thousands of years later, he was still alive. I don't know if that kind of thing could actually happen in real life, but if there are unfrozen cavemen walking around these days, the night janitor at my school might be one of them. If we do figure a way out of this climate mess, it's probably going to be someone in my generation who solves it. That's why I'm always nice to the smart kids, because they're going to be the ones who are going to save our butts. Whatever the answer is, I guarantee you technology is going to be the key. Grown-ups are always saying that too much technology is bad for kids, but I say the more the better. In fact, as soon as I can afford one of those high-tech toys that learns all your habits, I'm going to get the most expensive model. Some people worry that one day we'll lose control and technology and robots will take over. Well, if that happens, I'm going to make sure that I'm on their side. I've actually been preparing for when the robots take over by sucking up to the applicants in my house. So when there's a giant robot / human war in the future, I'll be patting myself on the back for thinking ahead. My brother Roderick says that in the future people will have robot body parts and will all be cyborgs. Well, I hope I don't have to wait too long for that, because I could buy myself a pair of robot legs and I could get a half hour of extra sleep each morning. I guess we don't really know what's going to happen in the future, and you could drive yourself crazy worrying about it. Even if we solve all the problems we have right now, there'll be a new thing that come along, and then we'll have to deal with that. I've read that's what happened with the dinosaurs. They were riding high for a couple 100 million years. Then an asteroid came and wiped them out. What's really crazy is that cockroaches were around back then, and somehow they survived, and they'll probably be here long after we've gone too. Personally, I think cockroaches are disgusting, but they must be doing something right. Speaking of survival right now, I'm just trying to get my way through middle school, and the last few days haven't made it that great. Even though it's still warm outside, The thermometer at school still thinks it's winter, so the furnace is on full blast all day, which makes it so hard to concentrate in class. The heat has been frying my brain, and I've been forgetting when my homework is due. I forgot a really big one today, which was my country project for my international showcase. Back in November, everyone had to choose a country to do a report on. I picked Italy because I'm a huge pizza fan. But it turns out Italy was a very popular choice, so my social studies had to draw names to decide who got it. And he chose Dennis Tracton, which isn't fair because he can't eat pizza and he can't even eat cheese either. So when my teacher assigned me Malta, which I didn't even know was a country. Anyway, that was 2 months ago, and I didn't give my country project a second thought until today. And the reason I remembered was because when I got to school, everybody was wearing weird clothes. I probably should have realised there was an international showcase day when my friend Rowley came to get me for school wearing a crazy get-up, but he's always doing strange stuff, so I barely even noticed. In homeroom, I took a look at Rowley's project to see how much his work was involved, and that's when I started to panic. His report looked like it took a ton of time, and it was pretty obvious that his parents helped him with it. Of course, Rowley had been to the country he got assigned, so I'm sure that made it a lot easier for him. I asked Rowley to be a pal and switch countries with me, but he's kind of selfish, so he wouldn't go for it. That meant I was on my own, and I only had a few hours to do my whole project from scratch. And I don't know where I was going to find a trifold board this late in the game. That's when I remembered I still had a trifold in my locker. I started my country project the day after it was assigned, so I could get ahead with the things for once. But when I pulled it out to see how far I got, I was pretty disappointed. This project was 50% of my social studies grade, so I was desperate. I tried getting help from my classmates, but all that did was remind me I might need to get some smarter friends. I stayed indoors for recess on my project. I didn't have time to go down to the library for research, so I had to do a lot of guessing. The only thing I felt for sure about was that Malta was somewhere near Russia, but I was pretty shaky on everything else. Once I finished filling out my tripod, I started working on my other stuff. We were supposed to wear our country's traditional dress for our international showcase. So on the way to lunch, I picked out some clothes from the lost and found in front of the principal's office. Luckily, there was a few decent items in the box, and I put together an outfit that looked pretty convincing. Everyone was supposed to bring a traditional meal too. At lunch, I bought as many items I could afford and threw something together that it seemed like it came from another country. The international showcase was during the last period, and when I was set up my project in the gym, I was actually pretty good about things, but I wish I got assigned a country where it was lighter clothes because the furnace was still on full blast. The heat was getting on some other kids and tempers began to flare. At one point, Brazil and Bulgaria got a fight over table space and a teacher had to come and break it up. Kids came from the elementary school to check out on our project and ask questions, but all I had to do is get them to move along. It was pretend I only spoke Maltese. Luckily, after that, the parents started to arrive. Luckily, mine couldn't come because Dad was at work and Mum was at her college. But some kid in my grade has a mum and dad who are actually from Malta, which was really bad luck for me. I thought they were going to report me to my teacher, and I was ready to make a run for it. But something happened that let me off the hook. The fight that started between Brazil and Bulgaria flared back up and spilled over to the C and D countries. And before long, the whole gym was at core. Luckily, the bell rang and school got dismissed before anyone got seriously hurt. But the whole situation doesn't exactly give me a lot of hope for world peace. I hope you enjoyed Monday from Diary of the Wimpy Kid, The Meltdown. If you want to see more, please remember to like, subscribe and leave a comment what to read. Thank you for watching.